Hey, what's going on everyone? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. Okay, I'm going to talk about current events and what's been going on, something I'm sure you all have heard about. Before I start that, I want to say this, and I've said it once or twice before, I'm not 100% sure where I'm going to take this channel. Something is changing inside me, and so here's what's going to happen. Alright, so I'm going to start here. So for sure, I made another shift. It was around that 9-9 portal, whether that was a coincidence or... So the 9-9 portal is basically just the September 9th, okay? And I had even posted a video on here, and it was the one where I said, my heart is opening. And I knew right then something inside was shifting. So when the energy shifts inside and there's an opening like that, your energy is healing, so you're healing more of, more of your parts, more of your charges, and you're beginning to integrate more. So what may end up happening is, the more my energy shifts, some of you may not match up with the energy anymore. And it's not necessarily because you're changing, it's because I'm changing. So some of you may fall off. Don't feel bad about that. It's just because the energy may not be matching where you're at. So what drew you to my channel in the beginning was there was a similar energy that you matched up with, that your energy connected with. And for most of you, the purpose was probably to help you to shift and to begin to heal the energies in you that are coming up. Now, when I say energy, I mean actual energy. I don't just mean, oh, you're hearing this thing and it's helping you to have a realization, which is true. But I literally mean the actual energy. So when you're hearing my voice, you're literally getting how do I say this? My energy and where I'm at, what I'm sharing on this channel, is helping you with whatever energies that need to be healed in the moment. And I mean on an energetic level, not just a logical, verbal, psychological, that kind of thing. I mean just the energies just by being in my presence, just by being in this space. And this is what they mean when they say you are where you need to be in that moment. Alright, so here's the second piece of that, or maybe this is the third piece. I'm going to say it again, I'm not really sure where I'm going with this channel. I know right now my energy is just kind of settled, and I'm kind of in a no man's land, or kind of in the middle of something, and I'm kind of waiting for the next inspiration to come up. So I'm not pushing it as much because I'm not as inspired around this subject. I think there's a shift that's happening, and that's going to be what this video is about. Okay, so I think I'm kind of in the middle land of, okay, like where are we going with this next? Now in the past I wasn't pushing it because I was pushing it because I was inspired. I was pissed off. I was angry. I was happy. I was like having these realizations. I was coming out of the rat trap, the narcissist trap. I was really inspired on a deep emotional level. So for right now, I'm not really going to make sure. I essentially set it to where Monday through Friday I was going to get a video out. That was kind of my goal. I kind of missed once in a while. But right now, I guess what I'm trying to say is I might be gone for a while. Or I may only be uploading 1 or 2 videos a week. I'm not sure. Tomorrow morning, I might wake up going, boom, like I'm on fire again. I've got like 10 videos I want to kick out right now. So we'll see where this goes. But I do have a feeling there is going to be a shift or a turn somewhere here. And now this is going to lead into this video. And I'm really noticing how the work that we've been doing on narcissist abuse and learning and developing and, practicing and like, hey, stand your ground, say no, walk away. Not just the lessons part, but the subject itself is, if you're looking at what's going on in the current news, not only right now, but it's actually been unfolding for a while. But it hit like a bomb I probably shouldn't say that on here, 4 days ago, maybe 5 days ago. And this whole thing is in absolute alignment of narcissist abuse. And yes, what I'm talking about is what they call him Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, you know, and everything that he has, and we use the word alleged for right now, that he's allegedly done. And that would be sex trafficking, child trafficking, human trafficking. You know, by the way, the word someone points out today, you know, the word human trafficking is literally like a cover code or cover word or a code for slavery. We have more slavery right now in the world than we've ever had in the history of mankind, and yet nobody really wants to talk about it. And in fact, nobody is talking about it. In fact, let's give it a new catchphrase and just act like it's not what it is. So, okay, so the reason why I want to bring up this subject about P. Diddy and everything that's going on over there is because it is something that I've been saying for a while, like this is going to hit. And there's another thing, okay, I want to throw this in before I forget. I've had this gut feeling and I wanted to put it in a video for about 3 weeks now to a month. But I had a feeling something big was going to hit. In fact, I don't think this thing is really what it is. I think this thing is like the trigger that's going to make a much bigger fire go on. So mark it on your calendars. I am saying something bigger is going to explode. So it's September 22nd and it's 5:50 in the morning right now. So this will probably come out probably in about 3 or 4 days. I mean my video, not the big surprise. So, oh god, I was going to say this. Oh yeah, so that reminded me of something. This was years ago. This was when I was meditating every day for hours. There was a friend of mine, she was trying to sell her house. She went through a divorce and she'd even lowered the price to what the houses in her neighborhood were going for that were the same size. And she had significantly lowered the price. She goes, Michael, it's weird, but it won't sell. The houses around me are selling for more and they're not even as nice as a house or as big as a house. She goes, and even my realtor's like, I don't understand this. So I did this meditation thing and I came back and said, hey, your house is going to sell for $300,000 more than what you're asking, and it's going to sell on this day in between this hour and this hour. And I think it was between I said you were going to sign the contract between 4 and 6. The time I'm not too sure about, but something, it was like literally within a 2-hour phrase, like you were literally going to sign it between these hours. There's 3 and 5 or 4 and 6 or whatever. And she called me up. It was about a month later. She goes, Michael, today's the day. I'm like, what day? What are you talking about? She goes, I'm signing the contract. I go, oh, you're selling your house? She goes, yeah. She goes, look on your calendar. I was like, oh, that's right. Like it literally was at the time. All right. So what is the comparison with what's going on in this whole P. Diddy, Puff Daddy thing and the old, what are they calling it? Essentially the raid on his house. He has like 3 different names. It's P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, and then Sean Combs. So I've been saying for 3 or 4 years now how the light is starting to shine in and things are starting to be revealed. And for us, because they can see that we are still truthful, and in fact we're becoming more truthful in the sense that we're allowing ourselves to see things more and more and more versus acting like we didn't see it, unconsciously blocking it from our consciousness. We've been seeing it more and more and more, and they can see that, and that's why they've been attacking people like us, like empaths, etc. Because empaths are basically a seed that was planted in the ground, and we are basically popping open, and they're like, oh shit, they're starting to see what's going on. So these parties with so funny calling P. Diddy with his parties, he called them freak offs and stuff like that. This is not a new thing. This has been going on for a long time. We're talking probably decades at this point, definitely over a decade. All right, so number one, this is an ugly subject, and I'm not going to get too in depth on it because it really is. You know, even Justin Bieber, the things that people are saying that he did to him, and if you go back in time, not too far back, but you can see where he was this really just happy, just cheerful kid, and then there literally became a darkness came over him. He went through a severe depression for a long time, and he still hasn't came out of it. So it's very similar and akin to what a lot of you went through when you dealt with narcissist abuse. Do I believe he was sexually abused? Absolutely. So I don't want to go too deep on that right now. The purpose of this video is this. I'm going to say it this way. So about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, I was praying a lot, and I was like, just give me a sign that something is happening, that this is, because it just seems like it has been so long. It can cause you to be very exhausted dealing with, and I don't mean like with them people over there in Hollywood, or I mean just me, myself, and I dealing with what I'm dealing with, what you guys are dealing with in your own world. It is a very hard, long, stressful, exhausting thing. It's like, I was like, just give me some kind of sign that we're really moving through this, and that this isn't just the way life is now. So we got it. This whole thing that's being blown up right now is another big sign of, hey, things are moving. Things are in the mix. They are happening. So what I'm talking about is what I said years and years ago. It's what we learned. The first time I heard it was, again, it's that 5-week training in Hawaii back in 1991 or 92, something like that. It was a while back. Essentially, it was this. The way you know things are getting better is because when the light starts to shine, that's when the darkness really starts to turn up the heat. That's when the darkness really starts to fight. And it seems like things are getting darker, but what's really happening is they're actually becoming brighter because the darkness is beginning to get revealed. And because of that, it's like they're running around trying to turn the light switches back off. So here we are, empaths, spiritual workers, people like us, people in consciousness, people that are awake. We're turning on the light. We are the light. So our conscious awareness of things causes them to go, oh shit, because we wake up when we go into a store, into a gym, into a group of people, during those moments, the light goes on for them too. They can see as well. And that's what the darkness is afraid of, is this spreading to other people. And it is. The light, I mean. People are starting to see now. So because of channels like mine and people talking about this and learning new stuff and just sharing, it makes you more conscious, more aware, and more comfortable and more confident going, okay, this isn't all in my head. Because it really seems like that, because the majority of people out there, they're still asleep, and you're just looking at them like, how did you not see this coming? Like this whole P. Diddy thing, I've known for years that this was coming. It was obvious. I mean, Cat Williams have been talking about it for, 10 years? Cat Williams is a comedian, black comedian. He said this years ago, hey, you watch. They're going to get arrested. And he spilled all the beans. And then so did a couple other people. Denzel Washington, there was an interview of this guy saying, yeah, Denzel told me if you go to his parties, make sure you leave 30 minutes before the devil comes. And Denzel has been interviewed a few times. He goes, no, he goes, I always leave early. Because he knows. They all do. A couple of these people are just like, yeah, you don't want to be there, or they're not good things. And Denzel's like, yeah, I'm not going to be associated with that. So people have been speaking about it. It's just that for those that are asleep, they just, well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Or they're not even asking. In fact, they're not asking any questions. They're just like, whatever, dude. So let me point something else out recently. So in the last 4 or 5 days since this is broke, 300 entertainment people from Nike, Warner Music, CEOs, they all stepped down after Diddy's arrest. And this was immediate. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a, prediction. I think a lot of these people, they're going to try to get out of town as soon as they can. They're going to try to sell their homes or turn it over to real estate agents, etc. Go to another country, get a new name, and disappear. To what extent they're going to do it, I don't know. But a lot of people right now are running. So another person said, because you got to be careful of just saying, oh, this is true, it's not true. So another guy said, well, the FBI doesn't arrest someone unless they have like a 90, I forget what he wrote down, like 93.5% chance that they're going to win. And he said, in other words, they don't arrest someone unless they know they're going to win in a court of law. I'm sorry about that. I'm a little tired, to be honest with you. So, the purpose of this video is this. This is just a reflection of what's also happening or happened or is about to happen to the people that have done you wrong. For a lot of you, you've been begging God. I bet you've prayed to God for this very exact thing I'm about to say. You've wanted justice for years now. And that's essentially what I was praying for. Like I wanted some kind of real physical sign in the world, in my life, and something like show me something. And this thing blew up a few days later, or maybe a week later. So please understand this. This is, I don't know if I want to use the word symbolic or it's like a mirror image. Beyond a shot of a doubt, what's happening on the macro level is also crumbling down to the mid level and down to the micro level. In other words, it's not just the big Hollywood people. Narcissist abuse. The light is shining on it. People are seeing it. It is being revealed. People are starting to speak up. They're starting to talk about the things that happened to them 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago when they were a child. People are speaking out. It is happening. It's dark to light. The darkness is being revealed and people are becoming aware of it and people are starting to go after it. People are a lot more confident speaking up about it and speaking out against it. And that's something that we didn't do as a society 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. People just like, oh, this is just the way it is. And no, it's not just the way it is. The abuse, the narcissism, the demonic stuff that's been going on throughout the world, it's all being revealed. It's all being exposed. And in all sincerity, you really should be proud of yourselves. Just focusing on this brings awareness to it, even if you're not out there talking to people about it. In fact, I don't really talk to people about it. Very rarely do I go out in public and just start talking about narcissist abuse. I mean, very rarely. Just by making this channel, talking about it, it brings light to it. And I don't necessarily mean like, you're getting people to your channel. Like, no, even if you're watching it and you don't say a word to anyone else, your awareness of it brings light to it. And therefore, other people on a energetic, conscious level, spiritual level, they start becoming aware of it too, even if they're not conscious of it. Okay, I'll give you something that I learned today. So I learned about a drug or something like that called ketamine. Now, I've heard of it in the past, didn't know what it was, and so I thought, and that's apparently something they use as like a sex drug. Generally, what they'll do is they'll slip it in someone's drink, or I guess there's other ways you can do it. You can, like, obviously with a doctor, they could shoot it with a needle, etc., because it's an actual medication, but people don't necessarily use it in the right way. Well, apparently that's one of the things they were using at these parties because it keeps you calm, relaxed, and it makes you also forget. And to that special person out there who is listening, I want to remind you once again, I didn't forget. I remember everything. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Stressful, isn't it? All these years and I haven't spilled the beans yet. So to everyone else on this channel, I'm alluding to something to someone who I know watches my channel, who's not a good person. They like to slip drugs into people's drinks, their food, their water, etc. And they don't think they're going to get caught. You already have been caught. You just haven't got the knock on your door yet. But I assure you, it's coming. So here's another thing I wanted to point out. A lot of times narcissists, they will also do like black magic and spells on you. The problem with black magic is it always goes back to the creator. Now, if you've been attacked by a narcissist and they did the black magic stuff and you notice like your dreams were crazy and wild, you were scared, eventually they went away, didn't they? And if they haven't, they will. Because what happens is, it's called fighting the good fight. When God sees that you're willing to fight back, once you do it long enough, and it's a verse in the Bible where once you show the devil that you're not going to give up, the devil quits, the devil walks away. And that's the determination that you have to have. And once you get to that point, God gives you the protection. And now the bounce back effect comes into play. In other words, essentially there's this protective spiritual shield put around you, inside you, through you, etc. And anything that is thrown at you bounces back to people 10 times or 10 to the 10th power worse. Now, one of the spells I'll put on you is the confusion spell. Yeah, you're starting to think about it, aren't you? Because you went through a phase where you were panicked, you were confused, like your head was spinning. Here's the good news. It eventually bounced back to them, except they get it worse. Some of these people now, in my case, I know for a fact. Some hint to that special person once again. Some of these people literally are going insane right now, or they did go insane over the last couple of years. I mean, they are losing their minds. You ever heard the phrase, if you can't take the medicine, don't give the medicine? Well, narcissists have never had to take their own medicine, and now they're having to take it in full. So essentially, because they've never had to deal with their own stuff, because we've lived in the world of darkness and now it's dark to light and that's where we're going, they're losing their minds. Because, okay, you and I, we've had to deal with this our entire life, so we got stronger. We've developed ways to deal with it, and it just kind of became like, okay, this is part of life, whereas narcissists have never ever dealt with any of this stuff, and now they're having to deal with everything that they threw on you, and they are literally going nuts. They're losing their minds. They're becoming, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on this channel, suicidal, and they are not dealing with it very well at all. Literally, like the 300 CEOs that like literally they retired, or what do they call it? They stepped down. They're running. Guess what your narcissist is doing? They're trying to run. Most of them don't have the money to run anywhere. They don't know where to go. They're going to their friend's house, or they're going cross country, or maybe 2 cities over. They're trying to hide. They're literally trying to run and hide. This is happening on all levels. This isn't just at the big Hollywood level. It's happening. See, here's what's going to happen though. Watch this. Because this is getting blown up, and okay, right now this is nothing compared. It is going to turn into a firestorm, because here's what's going to happen. Celebrities, rich and powerful people that have been going to these Diddy parties, they're going to get revealed. The laws are going, the police, the law is going to arrest them, pull them in, put them in jail, and they're all going to start cutting deals with the DAs. They're all going to start turning on each other, spilling the beans on each other, and it is going to be a free-for-all, every man and woman for themselves. Get out your popcorn, get your Coca-Cola, sit back, turn on the YouTube, turn on your TV, because it's going to be a huge show. So now here's what's going to happen. What that's going to cause, it's going to cause the majority of people to finally, truly wake up to the darkness. Because a lot of these people don't think, oh, well, even though they've heard Denzel Washington talk about it, Cat Williams. If you don't know, I'm going to get an image of him. Hold on. All right, it's coming up. So he's been saying for 10 years everything that we are just now seeing. And he's been saying it a lot louder the last 2 or 3 years. He's been spouting it off on talk shows, etc., etc. And yet, people didn't want to believe it. People, at first, they were like, oh, Cat Williams, he's losing his mind. Yeah, he's going crazy. Like, they literally were saying he was crazy. No, he's not. Now they're saying, well, how did he know? It's like, because he was invited to the parties. Friends of his went to the parties. A lot of people went to these parties and no one said a word. All these people kept quiet all these years. Now it's all coming out. Now it's not just about these parties. This is just like one of the effects of the sickness. The sickness is narcissist abuse, the demonic, everything. It's all coming to light. So let this series of events that are now being revealed, let it be a really huge sign that everything that you've heard about how narcissists eventually karma gets them, it is going to come back on them. Sometimes it takes time because, all right, I'll give you an example. Sometimes part of the punishment is wondering, when is the hammer going to come? When is it going to come slamming down? So when you make them wait and wait and wait, they know it's coming. They know that you know. They know that other people know. They know that one of these people in their group, someone's going to tell on someone. Someone's going to get pissed off. Someone's going to get, treated wrong. And someone's going to spill the beans. Now in this case with the FBI, they wanted them make sure they had all kinds of evidence, all kinds of recordings, all kinds of documents, images, videos, enough witnesses, and on, because they wanted to get the whole lot of them. And this is what it means when they say God works in mysterious ways. And also, it's divine timing. Now, it's not necessarily mysterious. God's just saying, hey, I've got to set this stuff up. I've got to get enough proof. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. So I think when they say, oh, God works in mysterious ways, it's more like the FBI isn't going to tell the public what they're doing because they're trying to catch some people. So that's a part of faith where God's saying, hey, look, you're going to have to trust me on this one. I'm taking care of business. Again, it's like the FBI. It's like, I know you can't see it. I know you don't know what we're doing. I know you don't know how much evidence we've collected, but we're on it. We're getting this done and we know where we're going. We're almost there. And then, boom, lo and behold, they raided his house. They got a search warrant. Boom, divine timing. Well, it just means like now we have everything. We got the judge's signature and now we have the warrant and we're going in. It's very similar to what God's doing too. You don't know what he's doing, so have some faith. Some of these people's minds are so what's called reprobate. It's a church term, and pastors used to use a lot. It means their mind is so gone that they are so just demonic or evil or just not spiritual that you can't reach them. More importantly, okay, because I understand what narcissists do because it was done to me over and over, and like it was really, like it was evil, and I mean pure evil. You also learn that narcissists, they don't really quite understand, like, well, why are you so upset? Like I don't understand. Well, let's see, because you tried to kill me, you poisoned me, you've done this, you've done that. It's a really scary thing to go through, but because they've never gone through it, they don't have the ability to relate. They don't understand the level of pain. It's like, it's not only like you say, oh, well, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care because they're not connected to their right brain. They're not connected to empathy, their five senses. They can't feel the pain they're putting you through. All they care about is like, well, you're not doing what I want you to do, so I've got to give you some more pain. Like they don't get it. When I went through this last thing 4 or 5 years ago, this last narcissist abuse, it was like my brain was, oh, this is why there are some people in the world that have no problem enslaving other people, using other people sexually, hurting them, drugging them, doing all these horrendous things to people. It's like, and if they had their way, like, well, yeah, we would have slavery right now. It's not even that they don't care, they don't understand. And that causes them not to care. So number one, when I realized this, and when it was revealed to me, like, oh, like the coldness, the heartlessness, the emptiness inside them, I started watching other people, and I could see this in other people, like, like P. Diddy and all this stuff. So when I started listening to Cat Williams over the last 4 years, like, oh, he means that. He's not just being funny. Because a lot of people thought he was joking. He's like, I'm not joking. And they would laugh and laugh. Like, no, because I'm being dead serious. Because to the average person, If you haven't gone through it, you cannot relate to it. Even though narcissist abuse is exploding and people are learning about it, they still don't believe it. They don't believe it. It's until this whole thing really unravels with P. Diddy and all this other stuff that's going on, they still won't really. They think, oh well, yeah, they're kind of vain. They look in the mirror and they think they're more beautiful than other people. Like what? Oh, what's the big deal? I don't understand. The average person still doesn't get these are the rapists. These are the murderers. These are the people that put poison in your not poison but roofies or what's the drug to the date rape drug? I can't remember the name of it. These are the people that put stuff in your drinks. If you're wondering, well, who are these? These are just horrible people. No, these are not humans. These are narcissists. So number one, the majority of people in the world are about to be awakened to a really dark, dark world that we have been awakened to for years now. They're going to be like, wait a minute, is this what you meant? We're like, yes, this is what we were screaming at you for years. Number two, part of this divine timing, taking time, God is getting the narcissist to realize, because this is part of the whole thing, what they were doing to other people. And it's going to be a very, very painful, suffering, what's the right word? I'm not, they're going to have to suffer tremendously to be like, wait, this is what we were doing to other people? Yeah. It's going to be a terrifying thing for them to go through this. So this is part of God's divine timing. So part of it taking time is part of their suffering. Not just for suffering's sake, but so they can cross over and realize what they've been putting other people through. That is one of the biggest learnings that they have to go through. Alright, that's it for today, guys. God bless you guys. I hope this video helped you in some way. And I want to let you know, this really is a huge sign that this whole thing is starting to come to the ending phases. So you can start to relax. Things are getting better and they are finally being revealed. Alright, that's it, guys. God bless you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please click subscribe, click the like button, and go ahead and make a comment. And remember, there is if you want to make a donation, there's a PayPal link right there in the description box. God bless you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.